Coach, thoughts on tonight's match?
Not our night tonight. We really struggled to find some consistency and momentum. Kudos to Arkansas State. You know, put some pressure on us and just had a tough time getting going after that first set. And so, yeah, it's a good team out there tonight. And, but we'll take a weekend split and, get ready for next week.
Yeah, today was letter winners day. How do
Yeah,
you feel to have those
so
alumni
good.
here?
I mean, a real bright spot today. We had more alumni and letter winners come back than we've ever had in my time here. And they just continue to love on our team and be excited to be back at Troy. We had alumni come back that were on, the first or second volleyball team in the history of the program, 1977. And, it's just really cool to see that kind of love and support and people that haven't been back on campus for, 20 and 30 and 40 years. And just so thankful for them. And, it just shows how deep the love of Troy University goes. And so, yeah, we're really fortunate to have them back today.
Coach, last night and tonight, Madison Marks both had at least 20 assists. Can you just talk about what she brings to the team offensively?
Yeah, Madison's a great volleyball player. We're excited that she's got a bright future here. And so, our offense really sputtered tonight. There's a lot of reasons for that. It wasn't just one. And so, but Madison went out there and played hard. And, it's an exciting, like I said, there's a bright, exciting future, for her here as a freshman.
And Malia and Addison both saw some action tonight. What led up to that decision?
Yeah, we're just trying to, trying to find some momentum. Malia had a good week of practice, and it's really hard to come off the bench in a fourth set. You've been standing for an hour and a half to 2 hours, and so Emma came in and did some good things, and Malia came in and tried to get a little thing started. Had a nice block touch there, and it was really, really hard to come in and do that. So but they came in and gave good effort, and they're really good teammates. And every week in practice, they're trying to make themselves better. They're trying to make the team better. And so, on a night like tonight, you got to give some people an opportunity to see if they can, be a little bit of a catalyst and give a little bit of a different change. And, I was appreciative of how hard they worked when they went in.
Yeah, and last night we were outblocked by 2, but tonight it was 11. Talk about how you're going to build up that defense going into next
Yeah, our swings weren't very good tonight. And, we had a tough time diversifying our offense. And so it got real predictable. And so that makes it a lot easier for the opponent to, be good defensively, especially on the blocking side. And so, we just got to do a better job of the whole chain, more consistent passing, better distribution from our setters, and then a little bit higher quality, smarter swings, kind of like we had the night before. Just, again, offensively, it was a real struggle tonight.
Yeah, and then Sarah Bates and Kalina both had service aces tonight. Talk about how they had them yesterday.
Yeah.
Service aces.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. I mean, they're, I think that our serving continues to be a highlight point. Sarah was really dialed in this weekend, did a great job. Kalina continued to be really, really good. Maya struggled a little bit from the service line tonight, but was really great last night. Olivia, served really, really well both nights. And so, that's going to continue to be one of our strengths moving forward. I think that's something that, is going to continue to help us win down the road.
Great. Thanks, Coach.
All right. Thank you.